Brexit fallacy number 12. The UK government can unilaterally make whatever changes it wants to the Northern Ireland Protocol. My name is Mike Cashman. The channel is Britannia Waves the Rules. Please subscribe, tell your friends if you find these videos interesting. I will point to new branding that includes the National Rejoin March, and I will say more about that on a subsequent video. But Brexit fallacy number 12 is that the UK government can unilaterally change the Northern Ireland Protocol. I had made an earlier version of this video, actually, based on the UK government's then intention to invoke Article 16, it declared, because this was also a fallacy, but their plans changed. They may have actually read Article 16, which indicates that the opportunity for unilateral changes is limited to the minimal extent necessary to rectify the perceived problem, and that Article 16 is not a mechanism whereby you pull a lever and pull the whole protocol down, which is the way that the government had presented it. By the way, briefly, sometimes the use of Article 16 was justified because people said, well, the EU used Article 16. No, they didn't. It was a draft proposal that proposed the use of Article 16. It was, in my view, a silly thing to do. If you do a silly thing, then it does make sense to take note of advice from people about that intention, which indeed is what the EU did. Article 16 was never issued. Anyway, back to the UK government. So the new Northern Ireland Bill proposes to rip out various parts of the Northern Ireland Protocol concerning checks on goods going to Northern Ireland, concerning VAT, state aid, the European Court of Justice, and proposes to make all these changes unilaterally. Now, legal advice has been taken on this. At first sight, why do you even need legal advice? You've made a treaty with another organisation, in this case the EU, and you propose to unilaterally change a whole lot of it. Does it sound sensible that you would be allowed to do that? No, it doesn't. But the UK government have referred to the doctrine of necessity. Now, the doctrine of necessity says that if a state is in grave and imminent peril, then that could entitle it to renege on some existing obligations in order to safeguard its citizens. And the UK government's contention is that the Northern Ireland Protocol puts the UK in grave and imminent peril because the DUP are refusing to form a government with Sinn Féin, and their objection is to the Northern Ireland Protocol. Let me explain why I considered the Northern Ireland Protocol to be an abysmal idea when it was introduced, and why, completely consistent with that, I think it should be retained. I thought it was an abysmal idea because, in videos that you can see I made at the time, such as Bridge over Doubled Borders, proper account had not been taken of what this would mean for exporters from England, Wales and Scotland to Northern Ireland. They were notably not properly consulted in the subsequent consultation. And the end result of this is that many organisations in England, Scotland and Wales have given up on exporting to Northern Ireland because of the checks which Boris Johnson said would not be involved, but to which he had signed up already in the Northern Ireland Protocol. Now, that's a big dereliction of duty by the UK government to cause such problems to those businesses. That damage, however, has been done. The flip side of this is that businesses in Northern Ireland have access to the single market, and Northern Ireland is doing better economically than any other area of the UK, apart from London. The lost trade from organisations in England, Scotland and Wales selling goods to Northern Ireland is regrettable, but perhaps for many of them was a relatively small proportion of their overall output. That, as I say, may not come back, but Northern Ireland has benefited. Given the damage that's been done by the Northern Ireland Protocol, which can probably not be recovered, then the best to be made of the situation now is probably to retain it. There are mechanisms that allow the Northern Ireland Assembly to propose alternatives. That requires a majority in the Northern Ireland Assembly. The DUP does not have a veto. Now, the UK government is citing this grave and imminent peril as if this situation had suddenly come about. But by the way, one limitation on the grave and imminent peril defence is that the country claiming this grave and imminent peril must not have been party to creating that grave and imminent peril. The UK government is clearly in transgression of that, because Liz Truss has been very clear that it is not enough, as far as she's concerned, to negotiate about ways in which the protocol can be implemented. She wants changes to the protocol, in contradiction of the 2019 Conservative manifesto, which said no more renegotiations. So she wants the actual text of the protocol to change. She claims that the problem is the Northern Ireland Protocol and the objections of the DUP. But do you remember that oven-ready deal? So, as at October 2019, the Northern Ireland Protocol was known, the objections of the DUP to it were known, and so it is a bit rich in 2022 for the UK government to claim that problems have been created by a document which they produced in 2019 and which they knew then that the DUP objected to. So the legal advice, doubtless from Suella Braverman, the legal advice for the UK government that provides some defence for this ripping up a treaty which they wrote themselves is very dubious. My name's Mike Cashman. That's the latest in the series of Brexit fallacies. Please subscribe to the channel. Britannia Waves the Rules. Thank you.